She was not dead, but her court declared her corpse cold. They sealed the tomb, and her screams echoed for 3 nights, until they stopped. The people called her mad, the nobles called her a threat, the king called her inconvenient. But the truth? She was the most powerful woman in the kingdom, and they were terrified of her. This is the chilling story of Queen Consort Isabella of Castor, the forgotten queen who was buried alive by those closest to her. And you won't believe how far her enemies went to erase her from history. Before we uncover this dark royal secret, don't forget to subscribe to Royal Conspiracies, where forgotten history lives again. Now let's begin. The year was 1546. The Kingdom of Castor, a powerful but war-weary monarchy in southern Europe, was ruled by King Aldrich IV, a man better known for his wars than his wisdom. But behind the throne stood Isabella, a woman unlike any queen before her. She wasn't born into royalty. She was the daughter of a merchant, a bold, intelligent, and fiercely educated woman who spoke 5 languages and studied politics in secret. Her marriage to Aldrich was scandalous, a political gamble, but Aldrich needed a smart queen, not just a pretty one, and Isabella, she had ambition. Within 2 years, Isabella wasn't just advising the king, she was commanding the court. She outwitted dukes, dismantled noble alliances, and crushed a rebellion without ever raising a sword. The people loved her, the nobility feared her, and the king began to hate her. Whispers began to spread. She's not a queen, she's a sorceress. She poisons her rivals. She cursed the king's heir. But none of it was true. Isabella was strategic, but never cruel. So where did the rumors begin? From Duchess Amara, a noblewoman whose family lost power under Isabella's reforms, and from Bishop Rinaldi, a man once caught stealing gold from church coffers, until Isabella exposed him in front of the royal court. One by one, Isabella's enemies aligned. A secret meeting was held in the shadows of the royal chapel. The plan was born. Isabella must disappear. Not with blood, not with exile, but with a burial. In the spring of 1551, Isabella fell mysteriously ill after a royal feast. Vomiting, hallucinations, paralysis. Doctors called it holy fever. The royal physician, paid secretly by Duchess Amara, declared her dead beyond salvation. But she wasn't dead. She could hear them, feel them, but she couldn't move. She couldn't scream. It was catalepsy, a rare neurological condition that mimicked death. 3 hours later, she was wrapped in. By the 3rd night, the cathedral was locked. The tomb was ordered sealed in stone. The guards were replaced, and Isabella was gone. Or so they thought. 3 years later, a nun named Clara arrived in the capital, claiming she had a message from the queen. No one believed her, until she revealed the royal family's most guarded secret. Isabella had a child, a daughter, hidden away in the countryside. And the queen? She survived. The nun told a shocking story. A gravedigger had opened Isabella's tomb weeks later, looking for jewelry. He found her body curled in the corner of the coffin, her hands torn and bloody, her face frozen in terror. But her heart was still beating. He nursed her back to health and hid her in a monastery, where she lived in silence for 3 years. Until now. When the king heard the truth, he was already dying. Guilt consumed him. In a secret ceremony, he named Isabella's daughter as heir, cutting out the noble families who had betrayed her. Isabella never returned to court, but in death, her enemies paid. Bishop Rinaldi was found hanged in his cell. Duchess Amara vanished at sea. And the cathedral, it burned to the ground in 1564, exactly 13 years after Isabella's burial. Locals say they still hear screams in the stone at night. History rarely remembers the women who refused to be silent. Queen Isabella wasn't a ghost. She was a woman who challenged kings and survived her own death. And though they tried to bury her voice, they never could silence her legacy.